Every fall, the game's top prospects make their way to Arizona for the Arizona Fall League, and this season was no different, with 15 of the top 100 prospects in the game making their way to the Grand Canyon State, with countless other prospects looking to prove their name. Today, we get the privilege of looking back on those performances and determining who was the best of the bunch. If you're wondering why this video is a bit delayed, or if you're a frequenter of the channel and you're wondering why the background has changed, well, I just moved, and that's taken a substantial part of my time over the last few weeks, so for that, I do apologize. But without further ado, let's talk about the top performers from the Arizona Fall League. The biggest name entering the Arizona Fall League had to be Andrew Painter, who came as the second highest rated prospect in the Philly system and 32nd highest in all of baseball. This was the first look at Painter we had seen since the spring training of 2023, where he unfortunately did tear his UCL and required Tommy John surgery. The Fall League provided Painter a chance to get his footing back before the spring training where he would look to make a run at the major league roster, and he didn't disappoint. Across his six starts, he had a 2.3 ERA, while striking out over 10 batters per 9 innings while walking just 2.3, giving him a 4.5 strikeout to walk rate and a .894 whip. Those numbers were right in line with his minor league performances prior to the injury and should set him up well for the 2025 season. His stuff looked great with the ability to miss bats with all four pitches and a heater that had a bit of inconsistency but could touch 100 and sat in the upper 90s. All in all, it was a fall that couldn't have gone much better for the Phillies' top prospect and one that merited him Pitcher of the Year for the 2024 Arizona Fall League. Another guy who had a fall to remember was Sammy Siani, an unranked prospect in the Pittsburgh Pirates system. Siani came into the Fall League with a bit of a streaky prospect reputation that needed to prove himself. He started the season raking in High A before cooling down in Double A in Altoona to finish the year. Across those 22 games in Arizona, he looked much closer to his High A self, posting a 1007 OPS with 3 homers and 18 RBIs, along with 6 steals. So far, his game in the minor leagues has been largely predicated on that high average, but when the player hits at the level he did, you have to give him his flowers. Will he be the next guy we look back at this league and be like, oh yeah, he was that sneaky good player we should have had our eyes on? Probably not, but he did perform well and deserves his credit. Plus, I had to sneak one Pirates guy onto the list somewhere. Switching back to the pitching side of things, we have Josh Steven, the number 25 ranked prospect in the Texas Rangers system. Unlike Painter, Steven doesn't have overpowering stuff with a low 90s fastball, but it tunnels well with his slider and changeup, and he uses those pitches to great effect, posting really similar numbers to Painter during the Arizona Fall League. Across Stevens' 6 appearances split between the rotation and bullpen, he posted a 2.25 ERA, while striking out 9.5 batters per 9 innings and allowing just 2.3 walks. His really low home run rate certainly boosted his numbers, but still, it was a really impressive fall from the right hander who will look to crack the majors towards the later half of the season in 2025. Another player who looked to make an impact on their respective major league squad is Nico Cavedas, who finished the year with the Los Angeles Angels but maintained his prospect status as their 29th ranked prospect. Gavidas has always been an offensive first sort of player with little to offer on the base pads and in the field, but that bat sings. Across his minor league tenure, he has had a 908 OPS, and that continued in the fall league, posting an 1162 OPS with 6 homers and 18 RBIs for the Mesa Solar Sox. That production led to an Offensive Player of the Year award for the Arizona Fall League and hopefully create some momentum to carry into 2025. Caveda's bat has to be working in full capacity to warrant a roster spot on the Los Angeles Angels, who are looking to retool for the 2025 season. Another very unique hitter set to make the list is Caleb Durbin, who made his second appearance in the Arizona Fall League. Durbin caught the national media attention after setting the record for the most stolen bases in Arizona Fall League history with 29 in just 24 games played, with multiple games of 4 stolen bases. His performance wasn't all captivated by stolen bases, though, as he was able to post a very respectable 976 OPS with 5 homers and 21 RBIs. The OPS and homer totals place him comfortably inside the top 10 of eligible batters and give him a really solid foundation to use that speed. Last year, he was able to catapult his performance from the Arizona Fall League into a pretty solid season, mostly spent at the Yankees AAA affiliate, but with continued great performances, it would be hard to keep the young man in the minor leagues. Another name scraping on the major league roster's heels is Evan Justice. Justice already has logged 7.2 innings across 2 seasons for the Colorado Rockies, but he hasn't been able to stick, posting an 8.22 ERA in that time. However, the Fall League allowed Justice to mentally reset and debut a new look sinker that he used to near perfection, not allowing a base hit across 8.2 innings of work in 9 appearances. In that limited sample, he struck out 11 batters while allowing just one walk. His whip finished at .115, and he even secured the final out for the Salt River Rafters to win the Fall League championship. Is it an incredibly small sample that will probably be an overreaction in retrospect? Yeah, probably, but let's celebrate the lefty's success while he's on top. Staying on theme of small sample size relievers, we have to talk about Luis May, who turned into a star for the Glendale Desert Dogs. Across his 8.2 innings of work, May was able to record 6 saves in 6 chances, while striking out 8.3 batters for 9 innings, while walking just 2.1. His numbers were aided by allowing just a single hit in his appearances, but the important thing for May was the control of his pitches. Up to this point in his career, May has had an absurdly high 7.1 walk per 9 inning pace, so it was great to see him get some feel for his pitches. His fastball is the headliner of his arsenal, maxing out at 101.8 miles per hour, and allowed May to throw the 34 fastest pitches across the entire league. The dominance allowed May to be named the reliever of the year in the 2024 Arizona Fall League, and hopefully it's a trajectory that can launch him up the minors and into the majors quickly, because he has so much potential. Another player who lit up the Arizona Fall League was the Philadelphia Phillies' 28th prospect Otto Kemp. Kemp simply mashed in his time in Arizona, posting an 1193 OPS across 15 games with 6 homers. The increase of homers was a great sign after posting a minor league career high 16 homers in 2024. If he can continue to add some pop to his game, it'll greatly improve his ceiling as a player. He can already play great defense and has a decent hit tool, so hopefully he can continue to produce on the offensive side in the slugging department so he can reach the majors and help the Phils out in a utility role. Heading back out west to the Los Angeles Angels, we have Sammy Natera that headlined the entire pitching group in ERA, posting a measly .75 ERA across 12 innings of work in 5 games. He did so with an incredibly low whip at .75, with opponents batting 128 against the left-hander. Natera has never been a big name in the prospect world, being more of a potential guy when the Angels selected him in the 17th round in 2022. He's had multiple problems with arm injuries, yet has been able to seize the opportunities in 2024, and during the Fall League posted some really impressive numbers in that span. It feels like this could be the start of a new trajectory for the Southpaw. It would be a quality find for this Angels farm system. And before we get into the final player of the video, we have to talk about some honorable mentions because there are way too many exciting performances this fall that I had to leave off the list, starting with Moises Ballesteros, who continues to rake his way up the minor leagues with a 933 OPS this fall with 5 homers. Denzel Clark, who showed that exciting, big bodied center fielder with raw power and speed that we wanted to see. Tyrone Lorenzo, who put up really impressive numbers for a catching prospect. Jonathan Long, who looks like another stud in the Cubs system after a 1087 OPS this fall, and Thomas Sagasi rounding out the hitters, posting an incredible 1118 OPS. For the pitchers who impressed, we have Chase Selinsky for his 20-1 strikeout to walk rate, Derek Diamond with the elite baseball name and impressive 2.45 ERA across 11 innings of work, Jose Acuna with a 2.77 ERA across 13 innings of ball, just needs to keep the walks in check. Danny Kirwan with an impressive 16-1 strikeout to walk rate and a 2.84 ERA. And the final pitcher and honorable mention is Luinder Avila, who did well with a 3.07 ERA. And the final best player of the Arizona Fall League from 2024 has to be the MVP himself, Josue Briseño. Briseño just simply couldn't get out his entire time during the Fall League, grabbing himself the league's first ever triple crown with a 433 average, 509 on base, 867 slugging percentage, giving him a 1376 OPS with 10 homers and 27 RBIs. He also showed solid discipline and played in 25 games. Briseño's career will always be carried by how far his bat will take him, and after missing much of the season with a PCL injury, it was important for him to get some time on the diamond to stay on his path to the majors. Briseño answered the bell and more with the MVP performance. Hopefully, he can continue to make strides on the offensive side, and if he can even be a replacement level defender behind the dish, Briseño becomes a very intriguing prospect that the Tigers found on the international market. And that's going to do it for the top performing players from the Arizona Fall League. It was tough to figure out the appropriate cutoff in terms of playing time for a lot of these players, because oftentimes the top prospects will only come to play a few games or work on a few things here or there. So people like Christian Encarnacion Strand, Colson Montgomery, and Chase DeLauder get left off the list despite having pretty good falls. Aside from that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm excited to get back into the swings of things on the channel and continuing to connect with you all through baseball. As always, thank you guys for watching and have a great day.